Swadee Ka and good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nat Bunang and we'll begin the program tonight with the aftermath of the massive floods in Thailand's Songkhla province, with Hat Yai district being the most affected. And the flood waters have already receded since last Friday, but the damages remain. And so far, Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul has ordered the local government and authorities to complete the cleanup of the mountain of garbage in the municipal area within 2 weeks so people can return to their homes as soon as possible. He said that the officials concerned, such as the Songkhla governor, the Songkhla mayor, and the Hat Yai mayor, can hire private garbage collectors to help in the disposal efforts. So now let's have a listen to what he had to say.
ผมบอกทางท่านนายกอบจ.ซึ่งเป็นเพื่อนผมด้วยนะครับว่า7 วันพี่น้องประชาชนต้องกลับบ้าน14 วันหาดใหญ่ต้องสะอาดนั่นคือเป้าหมายนะครับ
And the Prime Minister has made himself clear that the people of Hat Yai should be able to return home within 7 days, and within 14 days, Hat Yai must be clean. Because if you really look at the pictures you're seeing right here, you can see a huge mountain of garbage, and that is part of the aftermath of the massive floods in Hat Yai district. And regarding the 9,000 baht initial financial support for each affected household promised earlier by the Thai government, the Prime Minister admitted that it is insufficient to cover the damage inflicted by the flooding, adding that even 90,000 baht for each household would not be enough. He explained that the government will have to follow the law pertaining to the amount of compensation payable in case of a public disaster. He indicated, however, that the Department of Public Disaster Prevention and Mitigation has a budget for repairs to houses damaged in a public disaster amounting to a maximum of 49,000 baht per household. He also promised that the government will try to speed up the distribution of financial support to flood victims. Economy ministers are scheduled to meet at the government house today to discuss short and midterm financial support for households and businesses affected by the recent flooding. And during the past weekend, many of the volunteers and soldiers have joined residents in Hat Yai district in cleaning up their houses and shops. But the tiring efforts have been hampered by a power blackout and also a lack of tap water. And even though the electricity was restored on Saturday, many people complain that not everyone has access to that electricity, and the commercial area and the town center, which was where Hat Yai Hospital, Tan Yong Market, and the Fresh Market are located, remain without power. Not only that, the limited tap water supply resumed, but they say that it only applied to only some of the areas. We actually talked to some of the residents there, so let's have a listen.
น้ำแห้งตอนนี้ก็คือไม่มีใช้กันเลยก็ต้องไปเอาน้ำมาจากที่อื่นครับจะมีบางคนไปขอที่วัดบางคนก็ไปขอที่ดับเพลิงแต่ว่าละแวกบ้านผมมันคือไม่มีเลยเราก็อาจจะต้องไปซื้อน้ำขวดมาใช่ครับใช่ทั้งใช้ทั้งอาบก็ใช้อย่างประหยัด
So you can see that many people have been struggling to find clean water for their cleaning operations in their houses and shops. And you may have heard that some people had to ask water from temples or even fire stations because the water supply has not really covered the entire city that has been affected by the floods. And in addition to the cleanup efforts, the volunteers and soldiers have been tasked with removing hundreds of cars which were parked on bridges by their owners to keep them dry so the affected bridges can be reopened to traffic. And even parked on bridges, many of the cars did not escape the flooding and cannot even be started. Shopkeepers and vendors were also seen putting their flood-damaged goods, such as clothes retrieved from their stores, on sale at bargain prices for shoppers looking for low-price replacements for possessions they abandoned in their flooded houses. And like we said, we also cannot forget that big pile of garbage in the middle of the city, which is part of the flood aftermath. And people have been complaining that this really smells. And it's really disrupting the normal lives of the people because People have been trying to make their lives back to normal by dealing with this large pile of garbage in the middle of the city. It has affected several residents and shopkeepers living nearby.
แล้วมันมีความหมิ่นทั้งนั้น มันเป็นของทะเลขายสดแล้วหน้าลูกชิ้นร้านข้าวสารมันอยู่มุมนี้ทั้งนั้นแล้วเนี่ยดูอ่ะมันมากองกันอยู่เต็มเลยหมิ่นมากหมิ่นจริงๆเนี่ยหมิ่นจนเดินไม่ได้แล้วจะไปตรงนี้ใช่ค่ะให้เขาช่วยรีบโกยหน่อยได้ไหมอ่ะจะได้ทำความสะอาดร้านมั่งนี่ร้านก็เปิดไม่ได้ทำอะไรก็ไม่ได้
And regarding that pile of garbage, the Pollution Control Department has mobilized officials in a cleanup campaign to dispose of garbage and to treat the polluted but receding floodwater as well. And a spacious piece of land has also been set aside for garbage separation. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done, even though the floodwaters have receded, but the damage is so immense. And it requires not just the people in the city, but also related authorities that they have to fix issues here and there, whether it's the pile of garbage, the lack of water supply, electricity supply as well, so that people can live their lives normally. And Prime Minister Anutin has already set a deadline that everyone must be able to go back home within 7 days, and Hat Yai must be completely clean by 14 days. So we'll have to wait and see whether the authorities and the people can actually meet that deadline. And like we said, several businesses in Hat Yai have been hard hit by the flooding situation, but especially the hotels and tourism businesses, there have been severely affected as well. And it is expected that the tourism sector in the South would be heavily affected and would actually deteriorate, especially during the high season where many of these businesses are expecting more and more tourists because it's almost Christmas and New Year's. And the Hotels Association in Songkhla have predicted that the tourism revenue losses are projected at over 7 billion baht. The president of Hat Yai Songkhla Hotels Association told Thai PBS today that over 200 hotels have been damaged by the massive floods, with total damages exceeding 3 billion baht. He revealed that many hotels were so severely damaged that they will not be able to reopen anytime soon. Another problem is that repair technicians have also been affected, which means that there are not enough people nor equipment to repair the buildings. This means the reopening would be delayed by another 2 to 3 months.
บางที่ก็หลายๆแห่งประกาศกิจการแล้วว่าเจอกันใหม่ปีหน้านะครับมันไม่สามารถฟื้นฟูได้รวดเร็วแล้วมันก็อีกข้อจำกัดหนึ่งก็คือทุกคนต้องการช่างหมดนะครับทุกคนต้องการช่างนี้ข้อจำกัดของช่างก็มีข้อจำกัดอีกจำนวนช่างที่น้อยลงนะครับจำนวนเครื่องมือของช่างที่เสียหายจากน้ำท่วมก็น้อยลงทำให้ได้รับงานได้น้อยลงมันกลายเป็นอุปสรรคครอบคลุมไปหมดเลยครับมัน1 เดือนเนี่ยเรามองเป็นอย่างน้อยเราก็ยังไม่รู้ว่า1 เดือนเนี่ยจะกลับมาเปิดได้จริงๆหรือไม่บางคนมองหน้างานได้1 เดือนได้แต่พอหาช่างแล้วมันไม่ได้อาจจะต้องลากเป็น2 เดือน3 เดือนต้องรอคิวต่อไปหรือหาช่างข้างนอกมาครับ
And that is what the president of the Hat Yai Songkhla Hotels Association told Thai PBS today. And the president also revealed that the massive floods have affected tourism very badly. And he even said that this would cost 7 billion baht in losses of tourism revenue. Also, he even commented that if the tourism sector in the South could not be revived by next month or in February next year, the economic losses would increase from 7 billion to 10 billion baht. He even suggested that the Thai government should consider measures in helping businesses affected by the massive floods, such as easing of the repayment of existing debts, along with providing soft loans to fund hotel renovations. He also urges the government to waive land and building taxes next year and reduce the social security contributions for hotel businesses affected by the natural disaster. The president also expresses deep concern that tourism in the South would be severely damaged if the government does not do anything to quickly restore or rehabilitate the city. Therefore, the president emphasized that the Thai government must urgently restore the city's image and support entrepreneurs to prevent disruptions to investment and Thai tourism. He also mentioned that many of the hotel operators here in Hat Yai are preparing to submit their demands to the Prime Minister, demanding them to roll out measures to help these tourism and hotel businesses, and they even criticized the government for failing to help flood victims this time. And there is another update today, though, in terms of the flood relief measures for households and families that have been affected. The Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Department announced earlier today that a 9,000 baht subsidy for flood victims in 3 southern provinces such as Songkhla, Satun, and Pattani will be wired into their bank accounts today. And this covers at least 26,000 households. So those in Songkhla, Satun, and Pattani will get their subsidies by today. So that is part of the flood relief measures in which will help these people and the households recover as soon as possible. But we have to admit that 9,000 baht is definitely not enough. But there are still other measures that the government has announced previously to help the flood victims, especially in Hat Yai. And the government spokesperson mentioned previously that the Prime Minister has instructed all related agencies to urgently carry out recovery and relief efforts so that people can resume their normal lives as soon as possible. So they have announced 8 key measures previously to help the flood victims in the south. And that also includes the debt relief, the livelihood and business loans, housing repair loans as well. There are also motor insurance claims, and even the fatality compensation of 2 million baht is also offered as well. And it also includes SME supports and also economic measures so that people can get back up as quickly as possible. And apart from the Thai government, there's also urgent measures rolled out by the Ministry of Labor, and their aims is to restore the livelihoods of employers and employees affected by the flooding in 9 southern provinces. And the 7 urgent measures include the emergency employment, the low interest loans, and there's also the occupational safety fund loans for employers whose facilities or equipment have been damaged as well. There's also 50% wage compensation for 6 months, and even funeral assistance for those who have lost their lives, and even repair centers as well. So these are the measures that have been rolled out by the government, but it is expected that other ministries will roll out the relief efforts and measures to help victims get back on their feet as well. And now let's have a look at the other stories making headlines throughout the day in our daily roundup. 45 out of Bangkok's 50 districts are covered by an excessive amount of PM 2.5 dust today, exceeding the 37.5 micron standard level. The air quality in Bangkok and its suburbs is forecast to deteriorate and will pose a threat to health, as people are advised to wear face masks when they are outdoors and to spend less time exercising or performing other activities outdoors. Pheu Thai party leader Julaphan Amornvivat has denied rumors that the opposition will submit a censure motion against the government on December 11th. He clarified that this is not the right time to discuss the matter, but insists that they will continue scrutinizing the government, especially on the flood relief efforts. Previously, Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul hinted at an early parliament dissolution in December, following speculations that the opposition may file a censure motion. The electricity price for January through April will be reduced to 3.88 baht per unit in response to the government's policy to reduce the cost of living. The decision by the National Energy Regulatory Commission is in line with the proposal of the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand, or EGAT, to cut the electricity price, so the government will be able to return 6.1 billion baht in accrued expenses to EGAT. Well, it's the cold season, which also means dust pollution. So please take care of your health. And if you do need to go outside, don't forget to wear your face mask as well. And that's all for this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. Stay informed with the latest updates about Thailand with Thai PBS World, both on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ